राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Gauranita, 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 Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nithai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Labai Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shlabhopad Ki Jai Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Shlabhopad Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Shla Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जाए ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जाए नवद्वीप श्री मायापुर धाम की जाए पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाए गंगा माँ यमुना माँ की जाए वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जाए श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाए Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution की जाए The Most Merciful Lordship Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Shri Shri Gaunithai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani की जाए ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जाए समवेत गौर भक्त बंद की जाए निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada की जाए. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, entitled Talks Between Narada and King Prachina Barhi, text number 32. Dukkesvekatarenapi Daiva Bhutatma Hetushu Jivasya na vyavachchedaha Syachetat tat pratikriya Svachetat tat pratikriya Dukkesvekatarenapi Daiva Bhutatma Hetushu Jivasya na vyavachchedaha Syachetat tat pratikriya Dukkesvekatarenapi Daiva Bhutatma Hetushu Jivasya na vyavachchedaha Syachetat tat pratikriya. Dukkesvekatarenapi Daiva Bhutatma Hetushu Jivasya na vyavachchedaha Syachetat tat pratikriya. Anyone who can chant loudly. Dukkesvekatarenapi Daiva Bhutatma Hetushu Jivasya na vyavachchedaha Syachetat tat pratikriya. Dukkesvekatarenapi Daiva Bhutatma Hetushu Jivasya na vyavachchedaha Syachetat tat pratikriya. Any Matajis? Dukkesvekatarenapi Daiva Bhutatma Hetushu Jivasya na vyavachchedaha Syachetat tat pratikriya. Dukkheshu, in the matter of distress, Ekatarena, from one kind, Api, even, Daiva, providence, Bhuta, other living entities, Atma, the body and mind, hetushu, on account of jivasya, of the living entity, na, never, vyavachchedaha, stopping, shat, is possible, chet, although, tattat, of those miseries, pratikriya, counteraction. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: the living entities are trying to counteract different miserable conditions pertaining to providence, other living entities, or the body and mind. Still, they must remain conditioned by the laws of nature despite all attempts to counteract these laws. Please repeat. The living entities are trying to counteract different miserable conditions pertaining to providence, other living entities, or the body and mind. Still, they must remain conditioned by the laws of nature despite all attempts to counter these laws. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Just as a dog wanders here and there for a piece of bread or punishment, the living entity perpetually wanders about trying to be happy and planning in so many ways to counteract material misery. This is called the struggle for existence. We can actually see in our daily lives how we are forced to make plans to drive away miserable conditions. To get rid of one miserable condition, we have to put ourselves in another kind of miserable condition. A poor man suffers for want of money, but if he wants to become rich, he has to struggle in so many ways. Actually, that is not a valid counteracting process, but a snare of the illusory energy. If one does not endeavor to counteract his situation, but is satisfied with his position, knowing that he has obtained his position through past activities, he can instead engage his energy to develop Krishna consciousness. This is recommended in all Vedic scripture. Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovido nallabhyate yad brahmadamu paryadaha tallabhyate dukkhavadanyatat sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramhasa. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet. Brahmaloka enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time. Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet, Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time. Just as in course of time, we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. One should simply try to develop his Krishna consciousness and not waste his time trying to improve his material condition. Actually, the material condition cannot be improved. The process of improvement means accepting another miserable condition. However, if we endeavor to improve our Krishna consciousness, the distress of material life will disappear without extraneous endeavor. Krishna therefore promises, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declared it boldly that my devotee never perishes. One who takes to the path of devotional service will never be vanquished, despite all miseries of the body and mind, and despite all misery brought about by other living entities and providence, miseries which are beyond our control. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Padithanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenatharinam. Narada Muni is speaking to King Prachina Barhi about the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. About 30 years ago, for the first time, when I read Srila Prabhupada books, what I really appreciated in Prabhupada books, the book which I was reading at that time was Consciousness, the Missing Link. It was a conversation between Srila Prabhupada and one scientist, Professor Dr. Benford. So in that conversation, the professor was explaining to Prabhupada that the modern science has advanced so much that now we know how everything is happening, in the sense how atoms become molecules, and molecules take shapes, and then different varieties of things are produced. So in that way he was explaining to Prabhupada that we know everything now. We can even say how the grass is growing. And as he was in that flow of saying those things, Prabhupada interrupted and said, whether you know or not, grass will be growing anyway. That just gave me a jolt. How simply Prabhupada is defeated. It's true, whether you observe or don't observe, the grass will be growing. You have not done something very great by observing that something is happening. It is something like this. A man who was sitting on a branch of a tree, and he took a saw and then he was cutting the branch. So when he was cutting the branch, there is another man who was walking by. He told this man, "Hey, don't cut the branch, you will fall down," he said. So he didn't pay any attention to that man. So that man was going off. This man who was sitting on the branch, he was cutting the branch, and after a few minutes, he fell down. And after falling down, he felt, oh, I could not recognize that great astrologer who told that, if you cut this branch, you will fall down. And then he ran behind that man. Sir, you must be a great astrologer. Who predicted the fall down? Then that man said, isn't it common sense? Does it require any astrological knowledge? Does it not require any common sense? Any commonsensical person will say, if you are sitting on a branch and you are cutting the tree, you will fall down eventually. So similarly, it's not such a great thing that you are observing so many things by your scientific observation and theorizing it, formulating it into different equations, experimenting it, and finally doing research. The very name is called research. That means it's already searched. You are only doing research, reinventing the wheel. That's all. So scientific advancement is not considered very great because it has not improved the overall condition of life. If you ask your forefathers, grandfather, they will definitely say that they have lived much better way than you. Agreed or not? Every one of us can testify. Equivocally we can say that yes. And they did not have so many facilities like all of us have today. They didn't have marble floors and fans and ACs and then mobile phones and internet. All those things were not there. But still they were very happy. What made them happy? And in spite of having all these things, we are still not happy. What is that? The difference? The difference is that they learn to be happy with what God has given. And we are not happy even though God is giving so many things. Still we want more and more and more and more and more. Huh? It all started with 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. I don't know. Kahan tak jayega ye G? Isn't it? It will go on. Everything you have everything in your fingertips. Still you are not happy and peaceful. Because there is always a search for higher happiness, higher happiness, higher happiness. And it is said there is no happiness only. Where is the question of higher happiness? This world, Krishna termed this world as Dukkhalayam. Prabhupada very beautifully writes, in this world you will find two things, misery and mixed happiness. Mixed happiness is more miserable than misery, to be honest. Actually speaking. After our, Darshanarati, Guru Puja, you go and take prasadam. Sweet rice. Sweet rice is very nice, isn't it? When you put it in your mouth, sweet rice, really, it is out of the world. Suppose now, you bring this much of sand and mix in that sweet rice. And then now you take it. How does it taste? You feel like better not to taste only. Although there is some sweetness is there, but your teeth are, grinded, or your teeth are grinding, and then, you feel very uncomfortable. You feel like spitting it out. So Prabhupada says, this is an example of mixed happiness. Sweet rice mixed with sand. You can say it is mixed happiness. Either you get misery or you get mixed happiness. And you get these things alternatively. In fact, in another place, Prabhupada says, the so-called happiness in this world is cessation of misery. Cessation of misery means, last time to some of our devotees I was telling, you are held by, your hair and put it in a full bucket of water, and you are gasping for breath. And then when you are about to lose, then you are pulled out. Then you inhale. And if the person says, isn't it very great happiness? What will you say? What nonsense are you talking? This is not happiness. You have put me into such great misery and just pulled me out. How can that be happiness? But that is what is the quality of happiness we get here. It's a cessation of misery. So, a very important verse that Srila Prabhupada has quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam, Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovido. Kovido means here, intelligent persons. Those who are very intelligent, please hear. What do? Intelligent persons, they will not try to improve the so-called facilities of this world. They are not considered very intelligent. Suppose a person is jailed and he is put in a general barrack where 10, 12, 10, 20 people are there in that barrack. The bathroom is very dirty, and bathroom and toilet are very dirty, and conditions are very, very bad. Of course, jail should be like that. Jail cannot be like a 5-star hotel. Then everybody will go to the jail. Jail should be like that only. So then this person is complaining, sir, there are no good facilities. Give me a good facility jail. Transfer me from C class jail to B class or A class jail. What do you want, sir? Separate bathroom, table, and if possible AC, but they don't give AC anyway. Even to the first class jailer also they will not give AC. All these facilities I want. But still you are bound, sir. Still you are put in jail only. Isn't it? In Telugu we say, Bangarapu kattani peek koskongada. You understand? Just because the chaku is made up of gold, you don't cut your throat. Hey, nice chaku, nice chaku, nice chaku, like this. Nobody does that. That is most foolishness. A chain which is made up of gold, you don't bind yourself with a chain. After all, chain is a chain which binds you. Whether the chain is made up of iron or silver or gold, chain binds you. So bandhana is bandhana. So as long as we are in this material world, we are bound up. We are bound up by the 3 modes of material nature: Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Although Sattva-guna may be better than Rajoguna and Tamoguna, but still it is binding. Still it is binding. So intelligent man will never try for this kind of, a permanent residence in this world. Or to say it more bluntly, nobody decorates the toilet. Yes? Why we don't decorate the toilet? Because no matter how much decoration you do, it is always smelly, stinky. Isn't it? Increase the size of the toilet, put some AC. That is why in those days, toilet would be outside the house. Indian toilet means outside the house, and you have to sit. And you can't sit for a long time, no? Because you have to finish the business quickly and come out. But nowadays the toilet is very, very nice. Sit. People take newspaper and read. This is the Western mentality. They take a newspaper and read in the toilet. Parallelly, that is also going on, this is also going on. And they put some all kinds of, O'Donnell and this and that, all kinds of things that you put. So that is why nowadays, what happened? The amount of time people spend in toilet has increased. First of all, constipation problem. एकदम तो आता नहीं है. थोड़ा समय बैठ के पढ़ के बैठ के तब एक आधा घंटा 40 मिनट में निकलता है ना? Am I right? Everybody in the material world today, everybody has a constipation problem. So people are putting AC for the toilet also nowadays. And some people thought that, better not to put AC in the toilet, better bring the toilet in the bedroom, hall only. Put the toilet in the hall and have a big screen. You are laughing, but it is the truth. Those days are coming. Those days are coming. In fact, they have already come. We are just few years away from those days. Toilet was outside, no, but now it has become adjoining to the kitchen now. Eat, go, eat, go, eat, go. That is why it is adjoining to the kitchen. Right? So whoever does it, it may look very, awkward that I am speaking like this, but isn't it true that nobody will try to make a permanent residence in the toilet? If he does that, he is considered to be most unintelligent. So same way, this is a big toilet. This material world is a bigger toilet. And one should not make arrangement to stay in this world forever. That is not considered to be very, very intelligent. So that is why Vyasadeva is saying, Narada Muni is saying to Vyasadeva, Kovidas, tasyeva heto prayateta kovido, nallabhyate yad brahmatam vipari upar adaha. Upari adaha means from Brahmaloka to Pataloka, there are 14 lokas are there, 14 planets are there. And the living entity goes from this planet, lowest to highest planet, and go on. Brahmanda Brahmite. Brahmite means he is wandering about. He is wandering about. If he is doing good activities, pious activities, urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha, madhye gachanti rajasaha, adho gachanti tamasaha. Urdhvam gachanti sattvataha. Those who have developed Sattva-guna, they will go to Urdhvam, means higher planets, such as Bhuvarloka, Janaloka, like that, Tapoloka, Brahmaloka. So these are the upper planets. And then Adho Gachanti, if you do bad activities, sinful activities, one will go down. Atala, Sutala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala. These are the lokas downward. And middle planets are like the earth planet is considered to be middle planet. So, depending on the quality of work, we get promotion, demotion or status quo. But any of these 14 planets, if you travel, what is definite? Birth, death, disease, old age is definite. Not only these four are definite, there are three things added to this. What are they? Trividha kleshas. They are called Trividha kleshas. Trividha means three types of kleshas. Klesha means sufferings. One is coming from one's body and mind. This is called Adhyatmika klesha. So all of us are suffering from our own body and mind. Nobody bothers us, but still we are bothered. Isn't it? Nobody bothers, but still we are bothered. Some inconvenience, something or the other is not going right in our mind or in our body. So we feel very miserable. So many times it happens. So this is called Adhyatmika klesha. The another one is called Adi Bhautika. Adi Bhautika means the misery coming from other living entities. Somebody says one thing and then we hold it into our head and then so much we think about it. Isn't it true that although so many praises we get, but one negative comment is sufficient for us to drown us into misery? It is said that, you glorify a woman, that you are very beautiful, your hair is nice, and this and that, all kinds of things you say, and finally you say, you are little stout. She will only remember that little stout word only, not all that what you said. Whether it is man or woman, same thing, by the way. So our mentality is always going into the negative and then thinking of the negative and then getting drowned into misery. So this is called Adi Bhautika Klesha. So that is why we find that so many other living entities are giving us problem. When a mosquito comes and then sits on your body, you think that the mosquito is attacking you. Actually, the poor mosquito is not attacking you. He is struggling for his existence. Yes or no? He is struggling for his existence. But it appears that, he is trying to squeeze blood from your body. So this is called Adi Bhautika Klesha. Everyone is struggling for their existence. People think that snakes, they are afraid of snakes. But you know what? Snakes are afraid of people. Snakes are very much afraid of people. We are very afraid of snakes. Everyone is struggling for existence. This is called Adi. In the struggle for existence, everyone is trying to give misery to the other person. It is said, in Bhagavatam it is said, apadani chatushpadam, ahastani sahastanam, apadani chatushpadam, falguni tatra mahatam, jivo jivasya jivanam. One living entity is trying to sustain, and in that process of sustaining, he is depending on other living entity, and the other living entity is thinking that he is eating me away. You understand? This is how apadani, ahastani, sahastanam. Ahastani means that living entity who doesn't have hands. He becomes food for that living entity who has hands. Ahastani, sahastanam. Apadani, chatushpadam. Those who don't have legs become food for those who have 4 legs. Falguni tatra mahatam. The weak becomes the food for the stronger. This is what is jivo jivasya jivanam. This is what is life about. Pecking order, it is called. Struggle for existence. Survival of the fittest. These are the expressions that are used for this life we are leading in this world. Everybody is trying to use the other person for his existence. Have you heard the Mahabharata story about Shakuni? Shakuni, how Shakuni became Shakuni? Actually, Shakuni had many brothers. All of them were put in a jail. And although all of them were put in jail, there was only food for one person. And when we were throwing that food for one person, firstly, they all tried to squabble with each other, fight with each other, and try to eat that food. Then later on they understood this is not a very good thing. What we should do, most intelligent person amongst us, we should keep that person alive. Even though we dedicate our life, we may die because of not having food. Let us not eat that food. Let us give that food to this one man. And who is that one man? Who was that one man? Shakuni. So Shakuni took a vow that I am going to destroy this Kuru Vamsha. That was the vow he had taken. Because the Kuru Vamsha, Duryodhana and party, Dhritarashtra and party arrested them. He was actually his uncle, Duryodhana's uncle. That means Dhritarashtra's sister's brother. Father's sister's husband, Shakuni. So this is called survival of the fittest. So they thought that this is the most intelligent person and he is going to, take the revenge. So let him stay. We will all die. Like that this world is. Whoever is the most intelligent, they will survive. All the other becomes their food. You are thinking that, you are very strong. But another strong man is using you. You don't know that. We are very much thinking I am very intelligent and strong and I am able to manipulate people. But you are manipulated by somebody else. In Telugu we say, Tala tannevadu unte, Tadi tannevadu unte, Vadi Tala tannevadu inkodu untadu. Tadi means the palm tree is very tall, no? So if somebody can hit the top of the palm tree, there is another person who hits the head of that fellow. Everybody has to go through this. This is called struggle for existence. So, the Shastra is saying, why are you suffering? Why don't you understand? You will only discover suffering after going to a higher place. A poor man thinks that the cause of my suffering is poverty. Then what he does? He earns money, lot of money. And then he comes to know that richness is the cause of suffering. You get it? After that, he will try better to become a poor person. Then he will again become a poor person. Then again he will think that poverty is the cause of my suffering. So, it is like switching channels. When you are in front of a television, I don't know whether you observed or not. the time we spend to change the channels is more than the time we spend for watching. Am I right? Everybody agrees this fact? If you have a 100 channel TV or something, you have a remote, you keep on changing, and then you keep the time count. The amount of time that you spend for keeping the channels changed is more than actually what you view. What you view may be 10 seconds, 15 seconds, but you are spending half an hour to change the channels. Is it very intelligent? It's not very intelligent, but that's what we do. In the material world, a lot of variety means a lot of suffering. Varieties of suffering. Vanilla suffering, strawberry suffering. Suppose poison is mixed in the ice cream. What difference does it make whether it is made up of vanilla, fruit, strawberry, whatever ice cream you take, you are going to die because there is poison in it. Similarly, suffering is embedded in this existence of this world. So no intelligent person want to enjoy this world. In fact, Prahlad Maharaj says, dukkha aushadam tadapi dukkham, that any amount of counteraction you try to do for suppressing the suffering, you end up into a bigger suffering. Aushadam, dukkha aushadam, tadapi dukkham. The counteracting method that you have adapted, that is more, giving more misery than the original misery. It is like, somebody was thinking, he is on the boat in the ocean. So he was thinking, boat is very uncomfortable, lot of waves are coming and then tossing the boat, I am always, troubled by this. So what is the solution you have? Jump into the ocean. That is the only solution you have. If this is misery, that is more misery. Pan to fire, they say. Pan is definitely hot. So if you are complaining about the heat, then you will have to fall into fire. So that is what is explained. So no intelligent person will use time to find methods to counteract misery. So then what should we do? Should we accept the misery just like that? Yes. Accept the misery. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agamapayano anityas tam titikshasva bharataha. Suppose you have a itching wound on your body and then you are feeling very much itching. So you try to scratch that itch. What happens? If you want to get some relief, so you try to scratch it. In the beginning it looks very nice. Nice. But then the wound has spread all over your body because you are doing this all over your body. So the itch has spread all over your body. So the so-called relief that you try to find has increased your misery so much. Understanding this is called intelligence. And not understanding this is called foolishness. So most of the time we are foolish only because we are not able to understand there is nothing to be accomplished in this world. This world is fit to be left. No gentleman wants to be living in this world because it is anitya. Anitya means temporary, not permanent. So what Krishna is suggesting, these happiness and distress come like waves, like seasons. Now we are feeling extreme heat because of the summer season. Wait for 1 month. What happens? There will be rain. There will be so much rain. The very centigrade temperature of water which you are putting on your body, which you feel very nice. Now if you take some cold water bath, you feel very refreshed. Do that in December. Same temperature. No difference. Same temperature. What happens? Feel very cold. So there is no difference in temperature of the water. but where there is a difference in our, in our perception of that particular heat because of the season. The same way, at one point we think what we think to be happiness is actually misery. Marriage is one thing like that. Everybody thinks that marriage is happiness. One poet told me, marriage is a mystical room. It's a mystical room. Those who are inside the room want to come out, those who are outside want to go in. That is a mystical room, marriage. So those who are married, you ask them, they will tell you the actual story. Us din bahut acha tha, he will say. But you ask a brahmachari, Prabhu, I am not able to decide which ashram I should be in. I think I should enter into grahastha ashram. And then he gets into grahastha ashram. Then he becomes miserable. But what is the use of such realization? Already you are nicely mashed up. What is the use of such a realization? So don't become a third class intelligent, fourth class intelligent person. Here, from the scripture says, don't try for happiness. Because there is no happiness in this world. There is only misery. So what do I do with misery? Tolerate it. But I have a lot of time, what should I do? If you have a lot of time, don't try to counteract the misery. Use the time for remembering Krishna. That is how you should use the time, Shastra says. Use the time for Krishna consciousness, not inventing methods to counteract dukkha. And those methods will become very deadly. Just like we thought that, mobile phone will give us great happiness. How many of us will believe that it is giving us great happiness? You ask the parents of young children, they will tell you how much happiness it is giving. They are cursing the scientists. Who invented this mobile phone? My child is not leaving this. And because he is not leaving this, his whole education is screwed up. And not only about the children, even they curse themselves also. A lot of time is going in YouTube. So, it is not giving. You thought that, it will give happiness. It was a radar technology. It was a technology developed for emergency purposes. This mobile technology is like, what you call walkie-talkie technology, Walkie-talkie technology is used for war fields. Whenever somebody is wounded, immediately you have to report to the station. Then they will come pick up that person, take him to the hospital, because that time is very crucial. That is why mobile technology or that walkie-talkie technology was invented those days. But now you are using that walkie-talkie technology. How? Mommy, I got into the train. I got the seat, now I sat. Second phone call, third phone call. Now the train started. You are giving a running commentary. So what happens, you kept on giving running commentary. After some time you are tired and slept. Your mummy is now feeling heart attack because now call is not coming. बीच में कुछ हो गया क्या इसको? Isn't it all of us having this kind of feeling or not? Our near and dear ones don't call us in time. अगर पहुंचा है, नहीं पहुंचा है, बीच में कुछ एक्सीडेंट हो गया, क्या हो गया? पहले तो ये टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं था, सो सब भगवान का भरोसे पे थे. बट नो भगवान का भरोसा. एवरीथिंग इज सिग्नल भरोसा. नो भगवान भरोसा. सिग्नल गया तो गया. What a nonsense thing that we have invented, and then we are proud of that invention. So that is why Shastra says that this is not intelligent. This is not very intelligent. Earlier, you are only, you are worried about your own house, your own family, those family problems. But now all the problems are always running on TV. International problems, national problems, gully problems, every problem is coming. Isn't it? You are already frustrated with your own problems, and then now you need more problems of other fellows. What will you do? Can you solve? Russia and Ukraine are fighting. What will you do? You can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. So we thought that, Doordarshan. It is not Doordarshan. It is Dukkha Darshan. Isn't it? Dukkha Darshan dur se. Dur Dukkha Darshan. It is. So, Shastra says, don't become unintelligent. Don't waste time in inventing all these things. Your time is very limited here. The number of breaths that you take are fixed. You can't increase the number of breaths. So, within those breaths, you better remember, in each breath, you think of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. When we chant Hare Krishna, sometimes we have this feeling, in one breath, how many mantras I can chant? Take a deep breath and then chant 2 mantras, 3 mantras if you can sustain. This way you do, your life is successful. Instead of doing all this tamasha, which is going on. So that is what Shastra says. Prachina Barhi was told by Narada Muni, those who are intelligent, they will not try to find problems to the dukkha of this world, because this dukkha cannot be taken away. No matter what you do, it cannot be taken away. Rather, the counteracting method is more miserable than the dukkha, original dukkha. Dukkha ushadam tadapi dukkham. So instead of that, you better tolerate. Little time you tolerate, because you will not get anything forever. Dukkha will come, sukha will come, dukkha will come, sukha will come. They keep changing. Nothing is permanent. Don't worry. Just like you are trying to avoid misery and you are trying to get happiness, sometimes happiness comes without your asking for it. Yes? Similarly, misery you are trying to avoid so much, still in spite of avoiding, so much misery will come. So that means your endeavor is useless. It's like the child who is trying to, operate the, amplifier volume control. He is trying to operate. Already उधर father ने switch बंद करके रखा है. अगर switch बंद करके रखा है, ये कितना भी volume control करे तो उसको क्या होता है? It is not going to change, because already the switch is off there. Similarly, the amount of happiness, amount of distress is fixed for us. So when the switch is off, whatever you try to do, it's not going to work. You try to get more happiness, it's not going to work. You try to avoid misery, it's not going to work. Then why am I doing it? This is called Maya. Maya means exactly this. It appears your happiness is directly proportional to your endeavor. It appears that your removal of misery is directly proportional to your endeavor. It appears only, but actually it's not so. It has nothing to do with what you do. You're going to get what you're going to get, fixed, according to your karma. So what should I do? I have a lot of time. Use it for remembering Krishna. That is the best thing to do. That is the instruction here in this Bhagavatam pages. So I'd like to stop here. If you have any questions, any comments, anybody has? Yes. Can you switch on the mic, please?
By making inventions, it is waste of time, no Prabhu. You said by making inventions, it is waste of time. But we can use that for Krishna consciousness, no Prabhu. Then it is not waste of time, it is useful for us.
You understand his question, no? By making inventions, you are saying it is a waste of time. Can we not use the inventions in service to God? It is like somebody got one iron piece which is used for the deck of a horse. You understand? Horse decks are, it is they are coated, not coated, they are riveted with iron piece. So when I was a child, my mother used to say, when I used to do some useless things, she would say, నాడ దొరికిందని ఎవడో గుర్రం కొన్నాడంట. Understand? నాడ దొరికిందని గుర్రం కొన్నాడు means just because he was going on the road, he got the deck, he got this. So he thought, now I have this, so very nice, so I should purchase a horse. Arey murkha, this is 2 rupees one you got. But if you have to purchase a horse, how much it will take? 2 lakh rupees. Just because you got 2 rupees thing. To use this, I wanted to buy 2 lakh thing. Similarly, we are thinking, let me make some invention and later use it for Krishna's service. Already we are suffering with inventions. New inventions you want? Already we are suffering with inventions. They are giving so much misery to us. So it is not very intelligent. It's not at all very intelligent that we make new inventions. Already so much invention has already happened. Especially devotees should not do it. After coming to know that everything is useless, you are already crazy. Use your craziness in Krishna's service. Don't become newly crazy and use it in Krishna's service. I hope you get the point.
Yes, Prabhu.
Any other question? Yes, pass on the mic, please. Anyway, it's late. Last
Hare Krishna,
question.
Prabhuji. Just one question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you said that we should accept the misery as it is.
Huh.
How to develop the will to accept that misery?
If you think that the misery is given by Krishna, who is my best well-wisher, you will develop it. The problem is you are thinking an enemy is giving you this misery. This enemy is giving my misery and I will finish this fellow off. It is like, it is like taking revenge on the knife. Can you take revenge on the knife? If you want to take revenge on whom, you should take the person who uses the knife to hurt you. Similarly, so much misery is coming to us by various things. But who is actually giving us? Krishna is giving us. So you want to take revenge on Krishna? Krishna is our best well-wisher. He is our eternal Father. Then why is he giving so much misery? You have done some nonsense. So in a reduced quantity, he is giving you the misery. And this little quantity you are thinking it's a big quantity. Because you don't know that it is given by Krishna. So all of us are counteracting this because we don't know that Krishna is giving this misery for all the sinful activities that we have done. Don't try to kisi se bhi you can attack anybody, not with Krishna. కృష్ణుడితో పెట్టుకోకూడదు అబ్బాయి, ఎవరితోనే పెట్టుకోవచ్చు, కృష్ణుడితో పెట్టుకో. మారే కృష్ణ రాకే రాగ కృష్ణ మారేకే. Once he decides, war is one side. You understand? Krishna. Right? So if Krishna decides, war is one side. There are no two-side war.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
All right. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.